What is a full moon and what is a new moon on your model?
Probably like a magnetic cycle, and just like the center of a Ferrel cell image of a magnet.
I think it's caught like a magnetic cycle, just like the center of a Ferrel cell spiral. Image of a magnet, it's just black in the middle. It's actually pure inertia, not just a little. In the Ferrel cell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. You start to see it charge up once more, and it goes back like it did before. Once it becomes like etherically spaced, you see it charge up and take its place. Oh shucks, ain't that so? That's how moon phases work, fam. Pass the dresser. In the magnet's heart, centrifugal divergence flies, centripetal convergence pulls, defying all science. Etheric whispers sing, light and shadow blend, magnetic cycles spin, where physics seems to end. In the Ferrel cell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Grab your partner, swing around, magnetic cycles up and down. Either song in the air, hillbilly science everywhere, cause it's like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Yo, belly on up to the Wixit word salad buffet. Who has light vinaigrette? Behind the Jugger Ranch.
Then charges back up, and once it becomes like etherically displaced again, you start to see it charge up throughout a cycle, and then it goes back.
And then it goes back.
It just does it for some reason, right?
What makes it go back? Who knows? Does it matter? It's magic. Well,
displaced magic.
Welcome everybody to Craig and Toon. I am who am I tonight?
You're Craig McNeil.
You're Craig McToon.
No, yeah,
and I'm Toon McNeil.
I don't know. I'm confused now.
Toon McCraig.
I'm Toon McCraig, and you're McNeil McCraig Toon.
I don't know. You're the one named after that famous Scottish restaurant chain that's all over America.
Wendy's?
McDonald's. So, that's what we call it. Like, what do you want? Do you want Scottish? And a family's like, no, we don't want Scottish food. Because who wants Scottish food, really? Does anybody want Scottish food?
Well, of course you want Scottish food because, living in Scotland, it's the law that you have to eat haggis at least 3 times a day. Otherwise, the haggis police turn up. But luckily, it's that time of year where there's lots of haggis running around, so we get to hunt them. And did you guys know that there's actually 2 types of haggis? You got the ones with left legs shorter than the right legs, and ones with right legs shorter than the left legs. And you know which is which by the way they run around the hills?
The way they run around? Oh, the direction.
Yeah. So, there's the lefties there. They're going clockwise.
I got it.
Yeah, they're a bit more white meat, the lefties. So, yeah, we tend to go for those.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, haggis hunting season is a great tradition in Scotland.
All right, I'm looking to set this up here. There it is. So, you don't know anything about what we're gonna watch?
No. Can it not be the same video that you showed me last time? I've not recovered.
We weren't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
No,
that's not safe for work.
Not at all. No. So, all right.
Just because Neil deGrasse Tyson tells you to do something, you don't have to.
I do. If I don't, then
your bonus.
Then I won't get paid.
Exactly.
Well, I don't get paid anyway, so I don't know why. Just because he said so. All right. I've got. Oh my goodness! I got stuff in the way here. So, I was a little late, Craig, because my neighbor called me. Because he was he had a procedure at the hospital that took longer than it initially was going to take, and we didn't know he'd been gone for too long. We're like, ooh,
Oh dear.
where is he? He's fine, but he had a surgery that was extensive, and it kept him in the hospital a bit longer. So,
Well, I hope he's okay.
but he's back. He's okay, and yeah, he's getting up there. So we watch, make sure he's good, and like, hey, if you need your lawn mowed, he's like, I got my kids for that. So, well, you let me know. I will if you need.
well, what are they for if not for doing the housework,
They
right?
went mowing the lawn. That's why. That's why I had. Yeah,
Mine don't.
yours don't. You don't have to mow your lawn, do you?
Well, we do have lawns, but I mean, the wife tends to mow it because it's kind of hard to do with one leg.
Oh,
She gets me to stand in one spot with a strimmer and kind of like spin around and then move over.
you just hop along to mow the lawn, and you like push down on the handle of the mower, so the front end hops up, and so you've got like this wavy pattern on the lawn. Like, oh, Craig's been mowing again. All right, so the guy that we will be watching today is his name is Emery Smith, and
Emery Smith.
And so he's going to talk about, I think he's going to talk a little bit about
his parents named him Emery.
Yeah, is it the thing that ladies use to get their fingernails nice? That's his name. So Emery, Mr. And what's his middle name? What do you think his middle name is?
Susan.
No. That's a different song called Boy Named Sue. Yes, Ash G. Alexander. His middle name must be Board. Emery Board Smith. Anyway, so this is so the first guy we'll see is the guy that's interviewing him. So don't be confused. That's the guy interviewing him. And Craig, what did you say about him when I showed you?
I mean, that forehead's so big it probably starts buffering when he tries to blink. You know, NASA called. They want to rent that forehead for satellite spaces. His brain has a penthouse suite and a rooftop terrace. The forehead is so big that it's got better reception than my phone. He doesn't have a hairline. He has a time zone. That forehead is so big that when he thinks, it echoes.
Well, I got my money's worth asking you for your opinion. All right, let's see here. I took that time to place you on screen, so there you are on screen, and here it is, the interview here between David Wilcock and Emery Board.
Disclosure, I'm your host, David Wilcock, and I'm here with our special guest, Emery Smith, and Emery has some absolutely stunning information.
What's that?
Why is that guy with the big forehead? Why are his teeth in sideways?
Well, hold on.
He has taken
sideways?
Yeah, they're not like straight in his mouth. Watch him talk.
Well, hold on a second. Yeah, wait, what country are you in right now, Craig?
Look at my perfect pearly whites.
But what's the stereotype for your country's teeth, you goof?
They don't go in sideways like his. What's going on here?
All right.
What he's going to share today. Emery, welcome back.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate being here.
It's good.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm really glad you finally decided to do this, and I think it's long overdue.
I know you've been trying to get me to do this for 10 years, but certain recent events have persuaded me maybe it's for my better safety that we do this, and also to educate the public. And
right, so hold on. So for 10 years, Seven Head's been trying to get Wide Load here for 10 years to come and talk to him, and he's finally agreed because of recent events.
Recent events. I think he may get into what these recent events are. But Craig, if you don't, you should have some tab right now. Open it up.
I'm not the highest level that you are yet. They don't send me the tab. I just get the blood wine.
Oh. All right.
Nazumi says he tried face palming once and got altitude sickness halfway up.
Don't say that while I'm drinking.
Nazumi says his hairline isn't receding; it just came up and left. Oh my god! Sorry, that's mean.
Okay.
No, and I believe that my whole life, but I always know there's also a time for everything.
Yes. Now, it seems with a lot of the insiders I've spoken to that once we dig into their life before the military, that there was something going on before they ever even went in. And I'm curious, have you had...
So he's saying that when he's interviewed nuts people that are crazy and insane and think that they've had all sorts of weird experiences, there was something that happened to them before going into the military or before something. Well, you don't say.
Right.
Right, yeah. He was crazy before. I think that's the message here.
He's always been batshit,
Yes,
basically.
Always.
unusual experiences prior to military service that you think may be relevant to share with us today?
Absolutely. It's personal, but I can tell you right offhand that my grandfather was in the Army and my father was in the Navy, but when I was born, he was already out of the Navy. And I always wanted to be in the military. I think I had my first extraterrestrial visit in 1979. And it was about our
hold on.
Yep.
So when he says that extraterrestrial visit, they came and kidnapped him? He's been abducted? Or did he go on a jolly and meet some aliens?
I don't know, but I don't know anything about aliens. I have no alien memorabilia at all.
Oh, actually, the reptile people said, can we move the ping pong tournament at the moon base to the Tuesday?
As long as it's done on time, because I gotta teleport back to Earth for Ultimate.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Not the reptile. Oh, so much trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
acre farm in Fort Myers, Florida. And that was the first contact I've ever had, and it was a very pleasant contact. And I'll never forget it. I was not contacted until between around 1999, 98, where it was like a complete, landing. And that one was a little bit startling because I was camping out and wasn't ready for it because it started.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, who's ready, really, when the aliens come? I mean,
what, like, Toon, what do you do? You're out camping with your kids, a fucking spaceship lands, and out pops Gazorpazorp.
Yeah.
What do you do?
be like, dude, why did it take you so long? I mailed you that floppy disk like forever ago.
Me, I'd be like, fuck you're here, get me off this planet full of idiots.
Right? Like, I keep mailing these to aliens, and they don't show up. They still don't show up.
Which postal service are you using?
The Intergalactic Space Federation Postal Service.
Dude, they went out of business 10 parsecs ago.
Dang it. There went all my cred. That's a lot of cred. All right.
Sumi says his forehead has so much real estate, Zillow just listed it.
Dave McKeegan says, I had a weird experience once. I experienced Witsit watching the 24-hour sun and yet still think the earth is flat. Exactly.
Yeah.
How? Yeah. Oh.
I had a very weird experience with Witsit as well when he told me I wasn't at a place I was at.
Because I just had laid down and I heard some, footsteps walking up, but everything. So that turned out, that was like the two experiences. And the other one was after the military, by the way, but it was just a little bit shocking. But the first one when I was very young, and then after
that was after the military. Okay.
that, I was just obsessed with, of course, laying under the stars. I probably slept more outside of my house than I did inside the house, gazing up at the stars.
Could you tell us a little more about the contact in Fort Myers, Florida? Was there a craft that you saw that landed, and then what happened? Describe the craft. Describe exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened was I had laid down to go to sleep in my sleeping bag. And
Right, so it was a dream.
Oh, no, totally real.
I looked up.
You were outdoors.
I was outdoors. Yeah. Okay. We had a big farm out there.
Okay.
And
This was in 99 or 98. Outside sleeping on the farm. After he was in the military. Right.
in the middle of the field, in the middle of, there's nothing around. And there's, flaming, this comes this 45-degree angle. This comes.
Actual video.
Right out of the sky, but
he recorded
very slow, but red hot. You could see the orange glow.
How large was it?
Well, from where I was at, and it was probably at least 2,000, maybe 1,000 meters away, and I saw it go into the woods.
And he measured it with his eyeballs, like Whitsitt does.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Whitsitt has proven in a scientific experiment that you measure things with your eyeballs.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a little theory I want to run past you here, but is it possible that the guy camping out in the field on his own was also tripping balls?
It could be. He may have left out the part where he found some very colorful mushrooms and thought they tasted like purple.
And heard it. And I said, oh, it was probably just a meteorite. Wow, it was like the most brilliant meteorite I've ever seen. But I also noticed that it had a very odd shape. So I just didn't think anything of it. And it actually landed closer than I thought. And the neighbors, like just a couple acres over, 5 or 10 acres over in there.
An acre is now, just like parsecs is now a measurement of time, acres is a measurement of distance now. Apparently.
Always has been.
Yep, it's a measurement of distance, people. Oh my goodness.
Swamp.
Not an area.
And one of the extraterrestrials came out and walked over, and I was next to a barbed wire fence.
And he said, "My name is Gazorpazorp."
And at this point, he said, "Dude, are you okay? Do you need water?" And it all came into focus, and it was the police, and I was naked.
Again? Oh,
This happens every Thursday.
Every single time I get the purple tasting mushrooms. Dave McKeegan said, "I know somebody who claims to have witnessed a flying saucer from their hotel balcony. Seemingly, they don't think 3/4 of a bottle of Jack Daniels they drunk was related at all."
No.
No.
The ones you keep cows in with, four lines, sometimes 5 if they're big. And I used to put up fences, so those little hooks that you put that barbed wire fence, put that nail to hold the barbed wire fence against the pole, right? That little hook. So some of them.
How do you know when someone's telling a lie? When they put far too much detail in.
Yeah, unnecessary detail.
Yeah, those little hooks that you use for barbed wire. Yeah, everyone knows the little hooks that you use for barbed wire. Of course they do, dude.
Yeah.
Of course.
Out a tarp all the time, and then I put my sleeping bag on the tarp, and so I lay down, and I'm in the bag, and I always, being who I am, tactical Emery, I always have my gun with me. I did have my gun with me in my sleeping bag, and I was in a mummy sleeping bag, and it was very cold, and I heard like someone jumping the fence, like just if I would climb the fence, and as the fence gets pushed down, it goes to the metal and the hooks.
Right.
It's like, and then bump on the ground.
Sound effects.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Skunk ape.
That's just brilliant.
Bear. Panther.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, all right now, and then immediately I'm listening to the footsteps.
Evil Producer One says, "The guy's forehead's so big, Mikey Smith pointed his binoculars at it and thought he found the firmament." Oh my god.
And I'm very, attuned to that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And I felt a little uneasy. So I know maybe it was just me, or maybe it was.
Or it was the mushrooms you've eaten.
So I immediately just grabbed my zipper, and I already had my gun in my hand, and I unzipped with my gun and flashlight and just stood up. And there was a 3-foot being just right there looking at me.
What did it look like?
It was blue-gray, and it had big blue eyes, and it had a little thing on its head, like you see in the movie.
Just. Did he say that he was sleeping with his gun in his sleeping bag?
Yes. Yeah.
That doesn't seem safe.
I don't know, but he's that tough of a guy, Craig. He's that tough. Don't forget, You're not tough because you don't sleep with the gun in your sleeping bag. He's tough.
I sleep with 2 guns every night, my friend.
Just a second here. Hold on. All right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I sleep with a pillow under my gun. Oh yeah.
Typical American.
He's like we see in the cartoon characters.
Like an antenna.
Yeah, like a little like antenna or something.
Oh my
When you
gosh.
say it had blue eyes, so we're not talking about gray.
No. It was very scrawny, and it was blue. And it,
Like what color blue? Like your shirt?
yes, it was this kind of blue. And with the light on it, me,
Just so happens to be the kind of blue that I'm wearing. Yes, of course.
I wore this shirt because it's his skin. Gazorpazorp's skin is this shirt, in fact.
That's the next bit of the story. So after I saw him there, and
it puts
I
the
shot
lotion
it,
on its skin.
and then I skinned it alive, and I came on this show to tell you, and you're next, forehead man.
David Keegan says that guy's forehead is so big he has to use the Haverside formula when buying a hat.
Oh, Zumi said earlier he doesn't wear hats, he wears awnings.
Oh, too easy. Too easy. Oh my god. The
Don't even get me
Haverside.
started on this guy's 5 chins.
The Haverside formula.
I am still like stuck in my sleeping bag, and it looked at me, and I think the light really hurt its eyes. I think actually it got like, whoa, this is not going down right, or uh-oh, I just crashed my my craft. I'm just looking for the nearest, help or assistance. So it's embarrassing to say, but I jump up out of the sleeping bag and I chase, I see him, walking, going, running away, and I'm chasing him, and he goes into this thicket, and I'm not like chasing him to kill him. I'm chasing him, like, come back, like, come here, dude. And I'm like chasing this thing. He goes right through this thicket. It was so thick. There's no way. I tried to go in there. I got all cut up by the vines, and then I hear, all right, and I look next to the fence is right next to me, and it gets really tight. Like he's over there jumping the fence again, heading back to that area. So I was full of adrenaline, and of course it was really late at night anyway. But I took a little hike in that area and to that direction, but I didn't see anything else. So there was nothing exchanged on that. It was just I think we both startled each other.
Right.
Edison Carter, does Pantone have the alien blue on file? Oh my gosh.
So what happened was he was high as balls, but he wasn't that far into the actual desert or whatever. He was actually quite close to a road. A truck went past with its with its lights bright, and it woke him up. Just as he did that, a hare got startled, and he saw the hare, pointed his gun at it, and the hare ran into the bushes. And because he was so high on mushrooms, he ran around naked chasing it.
Yes, that's totally it. Ken, the OG Kenji, says, Craig, I spent 7 years in the Air Force as a cop, and when we were doing war games, we slept with our M16s.
Yeah, but he's not in the military. He was just in the middle of nowhere for some reason on his own.
No, he wasn't in the middle. He was on his own farm.
On his own farm,
Yeah,
right.
and he wasn't doing war games. He was, I don't know what he was doing. He was the big
Alien
tough guy.
hunting?
Oh, no. He wasn't allowed inside. That's why they're like, no, you get the hell out. You're not sleeping in here. But it's cold and there's wolves. Take your gun. That's
You're
it.
banned.
That's it.
Zumi says, okay, no more forehead jokes. I'll wait until the UN redraws the map to include all of it first.
And that's what happened.
How human-like would the face appear for a regular person? Would it look like a regular person from Earth with blue skin, or was there something different about the face?
Yeah, the face was fuller and more like more oval, not like a bubble. Like if you get a bubble and just barely, or if you get one of those plastic balls and you just go like this.
More sound effects.
But it had features. It had.
Sorry, if you get one of those plastic
sides,
balls and
but
just
not
go
really
like
the
this.
whole-
What the fuck is he talking about?
I don't know. Wait, now here's the drawing. Oh, you know what? I got the book. Hold on. I got it.
You got a book. Oh, all the
Just a
flat earthers just
second.
turned off. Oh, he's left me in charge of his channel.
I got the floppy disk too. All right.
Should I get naked?
I got the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac.
Yeah, man devil, that's what I said. That's a fucking Pikmin.
What?
That's a Pikmin.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a plant species that evolved on Earth after like hundreds of thousands of years of humans not being there.
Oh.
You should play the video game Pikmin. It's very good.
Ah, okay. So this book here I got is the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, and it's got all of them apparently. So and see, I have a different idea for how he.
Pardon me.
You pig. Can't believe you.
Sorry, I had a protein shake just before we started.
So I have a different idea for how he came to have this idea. So, Antarians, you got Andromedans.
The Gazorpians?
Well, no, Gazorpazorp is the guy's name.
Well, yeah, but he's from the planet Gazorpazorp.
No, well, we're looking it up. We don't know that yet. We got to find him in here.
Their species is the Gazorpazorpians, and they're all called Gazorpazorp.
Everyone has the same name.
Yes.
All right, these
Which
are all.
makes things easier.
It would.
Hey, Gazorpazorp. Yes, yes,
Yeah, but
yes.
then everybody answers. That's the one problem, I guess. All right, I'm sure we're gonna find it. It's gonna be in here. I gotta burp myself. I've had a little.
Debo says, are we sure that a bong wasn't involved? Yeah, but I don't think he was smoking cannabis. I think it was some DMT.
Could be. All
I never
right.
tried it once, but it was really shit stuff, and I didn't actually get the trip.
DMT.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, DeLorean Motor Company.
No, DMT is the chemical that your brain releases when you die. And it's what is basically responsible for you like seeing your life flash before your eyes kind of thing. It's naturally produced in a lot of flowers and stuff. So you can get it and smoke it. And it's a very quick trip. It used to be called in the 80s and the 90s the lunchtime drug, because you could like take it at the beginning of your lunch and then you'd be fine by the end of it after your trip.
All right.
Apparently, everyone that takes it, they meet things called fractal elves. They will meet the same alien species that exist in a dimension you can only access when you take DMT.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. Now we know where he's getting it from. All right. So, all right. Found him. There it is. There's the stuff he's looking at.
Yeah, no, there's no antenna. He specifically said they got an antenna.
No antenna. Well, this guy had it shaved off. Or maybe this guy hasn't gone through puberty yet. You don't get your antenna until after puberty.
Zumi, did you meet the fractal elves when you took DMT?
And they don't go through puberty until they're at least 18 parsecs old.
Yeah, but they've also got have traveled a bunch of acres.
Yes, you must now go on your puberty trek. You must now trek 37 acres.
And it must take at least 29 parsecs.
Oh, I found a photo of the host on a commercial break. Check your DM, says Icy Spin. All right.
Oh, you broke Toon.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so good. All right. Hold on.
Otto says he did the Kessel run in 9 light years.
This is too good.
Risky click, Toon, says Brenda.
All right. Here we go. All right. So here's
my God.
with the human mask and without the human mask.
But the forehead got smaller.
It's nothing but forehead and it's still smaller. Oh my God. Well, it's just too real. He's even got the sideburn.
Yeah.
He's got the sideburn just like this here. So the sideburn is
far too good.
The sideburn is all in. It's there. That's his own sideburn.
The color is exactly the same.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh, all right.
So to like hypothetically, you wake up in the morning and you turn on the news and aliens have arrived. There's ships everywhere. What do you do?
Same thing I try to do every day. Try to take over the world.
Take over the world.
Yeah, of course. All right.
So you wait until the aliens wipe out the major military installations, then you kill the aliens, use their technology, and become God Emperor of Earth.
Yeah, because they softened up, right?
Yeah,
You just let them soften everything up, and there it is. Okay, I got some things to read here. Hugh Jars has reminded me. The Turtle Move says, which one of you is Batman?
Well, I mean, you think there's one Batman?
That's weak and
But
bold.
it's a good way. Here's how to test if someone's Batman. Toon, how are your parents? Yeah, he might be Batman.
Okay. We got Janusz Takas says, "Yay! Let's talk about alien secretions in detail." This guy goes into it. This is just so you know, this is part 1 of this is part 2 of an 8-part series. I'm not going to do all of them tonight, Craig. Only 7 of them tonight, Craig.
I am just doing another mega stream starting Monday, so I might cover some of those.
There you go. All right. Jack Fetter says, "Don't let us Americans get a hold of your haggis. We'll deep fry it, make it into nuggets, haggis roll-ups, or perhaps mini bites."
Well, there's World War III.
And if it's in late August in Minnesota, we'll put it on a stick and sell it at the state fair.
Right, hold on. What's the population of the United States?
8.
Just 8.
Yeah, everything more than that's a psyop.
Right. I don't know. Isn't it like a couple 100 million? I don't know. Like
I think 350 million.
350. So there's 6.2 million in Scotland. Yeah, there's not going to be enough of you.
6.2 million in Scotland.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have. There's no way there's enough of you. If there's only 350 million.
All of Scotland has
chance.
6.2 million people.
Yeah, it went up from 5 to 6.2. I think it used to be about 5 million.
Your entire sort of country has 6.2 million people.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm in one of the less populated states. Minnesota has 5.8 million.
I'm in one of the bigger cities in Fife. And we have a population of 51,000.
Do you have internet there?
Yes, actually, we are the first place in the UK to get gigabit internet, which I am happy to announce will be getting installed in my house very soon. I have bit the fucking bullet and told Starlink to suck it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's £1,000, please." So I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh wow! So I am getting gigabit internet installed into my house in negative
Copycat.
in negative 2 days.
Ah, you got it 2 days ago.
Well, that's when it was scheduled.
Right.
And so I was here at the allotted time, and the guy showed up at the door. He's like, "I'm here to install your internet." I'm like, "Awesome." He's like, "Well, where would you like me to install it? And let's have a look around." And I'm like, are you going to be able to do it even though they haven't installed it along the street yet? He's like, no, it's right over there. It's across the street. I go, "Okay." All right. He's like, "Yeah, I'll just go over there and check it out over there." He walks over there and he's like,
"There's nothing here."
he didn't know what to do. So yeah, so like they did that section, they did the road over here, they did that section there, and then our road. Nope, they didn't do it yet. So there it is.
Everywhere around here has been prepared. They need to come and dig a trench in my garden, but apart from that, it's all pretty much ready to go. And the way they're describing it is I can download an entire 4K movie that's like 3 hours long, and it should take about 20 seconds.
Thank you. But nobody does that.
No.
Right? You stream it, so it doesn't matter.
I remember when Matrix 3 was out, right? And I was on home from leave, went to visit my parents, and I wanted to watch it, but it was still in the cinema, so I had to pirate it. And I went to a pirate website and downloaded it, and I had to go to sleep and then watch it in the morning.
Yep.
And this is probably like 240p or something.
78 Mitsu says Toon in the top left box again. I don't know. No top left for me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Top left. We know this.
Inquisitive Infidel says he must have had an abrasive personality. Emery board. Yes, Emery board.
Yeah. Yes.
Crypto Rose says no matter who he races, he gonna have a head start. Oh my god.
That dude is literally a sniper's dream.
Oh my gosh. Inquisitive Infidel says they say haunted houses aren't haunted. They just have haunted people. Oh, there you go. That works.
Yeah.
Did 78
So Toon, there's a haunted house, but the rent is cheap. Do you go there?
Yeah.
Yeah, just deal with it, right?
Yeah.
You got a roommate, okay?
Yeah.
So he just happens to rattle the cupboards at night and leave ectoplasm around. Just deal with it.
Could you? I mean, you hope someday he's going to clean up after himself, but the rent's cheap. So, all right.
Some days you wake up and your kids are floating above their bed, but just roll with it.
They've swapped heads. Whatever. Yeah. They'll swap back. All right. 78 Mitsu says, didn't they finish the Lunar Ultimate Field yet? They're working on
that guy's
it.
forehead.
Yeah. On like. The cool thing about an ultimate field is all you need to play ultimate is 8 cones and a disc. That's it. And you're not playing like some sort of a modified game where you don't have everything. Like if you want to play soccer, you need a goals, right, with the net and all that. But if you're like, oh, we don't have that, let's just put a shoe here and a shoe here and call that the goal. Like, you're playing a modified version of it. Ultimate, you have 8 cones. You got a full version.
Well, I guess no flat earthers could ever play it then, because, I mean, they won't be able to set it up. They can't count to 8.
That's right. Huge Arse says, an alien tried to probe me once, but he realized he had woefully inadequate equipment. As his ship took off, it got trapped in one of my fat folds. I think it's still there.
That's what you remember, that meteor that came from outside the solar system, Oumuamua, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was the probe they were going to use for Huge Arse.
Oh.
Yeah, but I missed the window, so we're going to have to wait until it comes back in a few centuries, I guess.
Crypto Rose says he has a beforehead, forehead, and afterhead. Dave McKeegan says that guy's forehead is so big you can headshot him blindfolded whilst facing the other direction from 3 states away.
Wherever you shoot, it's gonna hit.
Guaranteed. Gango44 says, I win only 5 million in the whole of New Zealand. Jeez. 5 million in all of New Zealand.
I didn't know there's that many hobbits, to be fair.
I did. That's a lot of hobbits.
I thought there was like 9 or 10 maybe.
But the nice thing is, no, unless you're Nike, no shoe sales. Right? They don't wear shoes.
I called it Nike for so much of my life.
Really?
Yeah. But now my favorite shoes are these Nike Air Max VN. I fucking love.
Okay. So this is funny. Witsit he loves to wear like high-end clothing, right? Even
I noticed that.
even though he's constantly begging for money, he wants to live a lifestyle that he doesn't actually have. But the other flatties get on him. Like this Rusted Saul is always on his case. I love watching her just tear him up because she goes after him for his clothing. Like, well, he's sponsored. Like, conspiracy nutcase, right? But he's sponsored because he's got Nike. Like, he doesn't have. What are you doing?
I'm just getting myself in focus.
How's that? So, like, they are attacking him because he's got Nike clothing, and then he's got like wireless earbuds, and they're like, "Oh, he's got wireless earbuds. The CIA is telling him what to do." Like, wired earbuds could tell you what to do too.
Yeah, but I've been accused by several flat earthers of having these so I can get instructions. In fact, there was one debate where the demand was that I was not to wear headphones, but that means my speaker is heard by my microphone.
But there's ways to not have your speaker and microphone hear each other by having non-garbage quality and placing them smart. So it's half the people I debate, they're not listening on earbuds. It sometimes is a problem, but it's really not that much of a challenge. But I've had people say that I'm reading scripts.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I've said, let's do it then. You and I will both be blindfolded. Right? I'm telling the flatty, we'll both be blindfolded. And then we'll have a moderator since we can't see anything. And they run away. So no surprise there.
Of course they do.
Evil Producer 1 says Lake Superior is bigger than Scotland. That makes sense.
Yeah. We would call that a sea, but I guess.
But here everything's big, right? It's just a lake.
Did you know there's a place like right up in northern Canada where there's an island that's in a lake, but this lake is on an island that's in a lake that's on an island that's in a lake that's on an island?
Something like that.
It's crazy.
Hugh Jar says every roommate I've ever had leaves loads of ectoplasm around. Gross.
Hugh.
And he's blaming his roommates on that. It's not your roommates, Hugh.
When socks start walking on their own, time to change it.
Mr. Evans says, did I hear that correctly? The alien crashed his dad's expensive interstellar spacecraft after turning the reverse park assist off while intoxicated. Yes, that's abso-smurfly what happened. All right. We'll get, you want more? You want more of it?
Of course.
Here we go.
Pikmin. But I think you and I need to do a video game stream where we play Pikmin or something. Oh wait, no, Nintendo will nuke us.
We could do Portal.
We could do Portal, 100%.
Aware and very agile.
Now, were the eyes larger than a regular human on Earth?
Yes, absolutely.
Like how much?
By at least 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, it was more eye, like the eye and the top of the cranium, it was larger.
But you said the eyes were blue.
Blue eyes.
So it didn't have the black like you see with the gray.
No, when I say blue, they didn't have white. It was blue eyes. There was I didn't see any pupils, but it could have been this protective layers. They have these lenses. A lot of the extraterrestrials they wear over their eyes.
It was a solid color blue.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And
wait, hold on.
Like his shirt.
He's now describing a lot of the extraterrestrials.
Oh yeah, this is just the beginning. Correct. Yeah. This is the beginning of a whole bunch of nonsense that this guy is imagining.
So I'm getting the lore straight in my head. So there's a bunch of different species of extraterrestrials, and the norm among them is that they wear some kind of protective goggles over their eyes, but this one didn't have them.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you had read the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, Craig, you would know this.
Well, I have, obviously. That's
Come on.
Required reading.
Come on.
Base, right?
It is.
Oh, I say required. It's the only thing in the bathroom.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember what used to be in the bathroom when Bill Nye kept trying to leave the novels that he wrote in the...
Yeah. Well, you know what? There has been placed an order for 42 cases of replacement toilet paper to be shipped to the secret NASA moon base. But it's waiting for Nathan Oakley to publish his book before they can be shipped.
I really want the book, but I don't want to give Nathan Oakley money.
I know. So here's what I think we do. We buy one.
We kill Nathan Oakley.
All of the debunkers, we buy one.
And share it.
And we share it. Yep. That's it.
I've never seen such behavior in the war room before. Has a very good point that Portal 2 is co-op. I was going to mention that.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Yes, there is levels designed specifically for the robots that are designed by GLaDOS to replace the humans because she can make the robots test forever.
I've never played. In fact, I watched just Monday. I watched the YouTube.
This was a triumph
video of the intro where Stephen Merchant as the one robot there is talking.
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think then we just need to play through Portal, like you play it and we all watch or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So
all right,
we're doing that on my mega stream.
I'm going to be a gaming streamer. I'm going to have to get a Twitch account. It's going to be amazing. Inquisitive Infidel says Loch Superior would replace Scotland.
Loch Superior, yes. Yeah, we don't have lakes in Scotland. We do, but we call them lochs for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Greg Edmond, where does the white go when snow melts? Where does your lap go when you stand up? Huh? Nothing. These mysteries have never been solved. And even,
where do bubbles go when they pop?
Even though I've sent many floppy disks to the Andorians.
The Andorians?
Yeah. I've not gotten an answer. You don't hold on. The Andorians. No. If you had read your Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, you would know that the Andorians
they're not very nice.
Are they're kind of organized by grouping and not just purely alphabetical. Angelic Corpse, Antarians, Anunnaki, Aponians, Arcturians. I may have just made up Andorians. I don't know. Yep, I did. Totally made it up. What color does a Smurf turn when you choke them?
Purple.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay.
They have a nose or just?
Yes, they had a nose. Very small.
Very small. And a small mouth?
Very small mouth, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very, cartoonical. Like, no way.
Cartoonical.
Like, very comical in a way.
And how old were you at the time?
I was probably 98.
7, 8.
Was 18, 28.
All right.
This was after he's in the military and no longer in the military.
Well, let's go back to the first one because this could be very relevant as we get into your military.
The first one was before the military, though.
Yeah. So, this is, what's important here is, let me look here. I need to crop that a little bit. So let's see. There we go. Croppity crop. So he has a LinkedIn page.
Oh, really?
He does, yeah. And here are his
scientist, inventor, explorer, and humanitarian. Television host at Gala TV.
Gaia.
The and is in the
Gaia
wrong
TV.
place.
The and is at the.
Yeah. He's the and should be.
Yes.
It should be scientist, inventor, explorer, humanitarian, and television host at Gaia TV.
He failed English. That's impossible. All right, so here, try to read this word. Paleoparasitologist.
Paleoparasitologist
yes.
at Blind Frog Ranch. That sounds like a real place.
Yes.
Totally. I test genetic DNA and materials discovered on the site. Of course you do, buddy.
Yeah, he does.
Of course you do.
That's a good boy.
Right, television host at Gaia TV.
So this Gaia TV is what we're watching on. So he was a guest before he was the host. He got moved up to be the host.
Professional speaker, consulting investigator at White Horse Exploration. Advanced research and development of volumetric imaging and reconstruction from backscattered signal-based electromagnetic wave speeds. Hey, Toon, do you have any ranch?
That is definitely out there. Backscatter signal-based electromagnetic wave speeds. Wave speeds? Why is speeds in there? Electromagnetic waves travel at one speed.
Well, there you go,
the
then.
Speed of light, because electromagnetic waves are light.
And he was the chief operations officer of Arc Light Ministries.
Yes, whatever that is.
He was also an independent biotech consultant, expert in biologics and cellular therapy. Of course you were.
And look, all these are to present, right? Arclight Ministries, 2016 to present. Volunteer World Peace 1, 2015 to present. Biotech Consultant, 2016 to present. Volunteer Octagon Wildlife Sanctuary, 1985 to present. This is good. Ultra Intelligence Corporation.
Owner and president.
How did you get that job? That's a pretty fancy sound. Oh, you made it up.
Wait, but he went from being the owner and president to just the company owner.
I don't know. But you know what, Craig, did you know that I am currently one of the founding members of the Super Duper Ultra Intelligent Corporation?
Oh, that's funny, because I have just founded the Ultra Mega Infinite Ultra Intelligence Corporation.
Oh, are you hiring?
Oh, yeah, of course we are.
Excellent.
Only the ultra intelligent people, though.
Can I be on the board?
Did you reach ultra intelligence levels?
Yes.
Well, of course you can.
All right. You know what? We're looking for board members too.
Yeah. Okay. Is it like a flat board?
No. All you just one question for the interview. Do you own a pair of socks?
Well, now if there's two socks, are they a pair?
I don't know, but that wasn't the question. The question is, do you own a pair of socks?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, you're in. Okay, good. He was the chief scientific officer at DC.
Detective Comics.
That's right. From 2008 to 2018, the location is undisclosed. Oh, well, that sounds very legitimate. So from 2008 to 2018, he should have no other positions on here because he was at undisclosed. But somehow he also was a DoD contractor in Fort Myers, Florida, from 1998 to 2018 for 20 years.
Whilst he was in the military.
He was also in DC at undisclosed until July of the same year. Weird.
I like this one. The co-founder / scientist / engineer at XMS Research Laboratories. No, you're not.
Research and Manufacturing Laboratory for Geomechanics and Electromagnetic Research and Engineering involving the new advanced, he forgot the D, science of volumetric resonance imaging. We have the ability, without radiation, to view, he didn't put to view within the earth or the human body at even the micro level of cell count, macro level of cell, but cell counting would be not macro, would be micro. But
Yeah.
my God. 400 times better resolution than MRI, CAT, ultrasound, or X-ray.
Well, those things aren't necessarily all comparable in that.
Well, but what's CAT? Does he mean CAT scan?
I assume so.
Being the scientist / engineer at this place, was he unaware that he needed to complete CAT scan by typing 4 more letters? Also, that he forgot the comma in front of CAT.
This guy's been busy.
All right, producer, Never Ending Light Productions. Documentary
course.
producer and scientific researcher. Current project is Polaris. Release trailer. Slated beginning of March. Stay tuned. Oh my gosh, from February 2014 to August of 2017. And this is still, oh no, there it is.
Happen?
That's the trailer. 2013. This
Right.
isn't clickable because this is just a screenshot, but there you go. We can look that up.
What do you mean you can't click a screenshot?
This is
I've been printing out Facebook comments so that I can reply. What?
there it is. I clicked on it. That's what I got. Okay. We're you'd think we're almost done, but nope. We're not. We're not.
Nope.
Owner president at Helix, 2012 to 2016. It's a BioHelix Corporation. At the same time as he was at Never Ending Light Productions, and at the same time he was at not the same time. Oh, geez, like if you drew like a Gantt chart,
like 34, 30. Yeah. So he's done all of this by like 35.
Oh my gosh, he's the owner at Guyan Medical from 2008 to 2016. Okay.
That's when he sold weed from the street corner.
At the same time as he was the owner president of BioHelix Corporation and the owner of Life Form Healing Research, overlapping. Also overlapping, international science director of Luminec Corporation, which is a nutraceutical manufacturer. Also overlapping, he was chairman of Amnion Animal Science Corp.
Animal regenerative nutraceutical. Hang on, hold on. Nutraceutical and biological manufacture. What?
Yep. Overlapping when he was a medical consultant for Exatech.
This is all whilst he was in the military, though.
Yes. Now notice overlapping. So this Exatech was in Gainesville, Florida. At the same time, he was also the chairman of Amnion Animal Science Corporation in San Francisco. Overlapping, the producer and director of Sirius the Documentary, 2011 to 2014 for 3 years.
Does he access my cloning tech?
I don't know, but look at this. He says that he's the producer and director of Sirius the Documentary. Sirius the Documentary. Now, does anybody know about that?
No.
Well, I looked it up. So he is, note his title there. Producer and director of Sirius the Documentary. Well, let's have a look over here on IMDb to see that it says that he is definitely the director.
Amaradip.
Well, I'm sure that'll be him. No, that's not him. That's a different.
What do you mean? That's exactly the same, bro.
Different guy. Well, that's just the director. Certainly the producer. A
documentary. What is it? A documentary about the life of Dr. Stephen Greer.
Yes.
UFO secrecy and existing energy technologies. So let me ask a question. Does this man's name appear anywhere in this?
Well, let's find it. Emery. In fact, it does not. It is nowhere on this page whatsoever.
Maybe he should add it. I don't know.
So, and it's the same one. This is Sirius the Documentary. Right, here it is from 2013. So not only is he lying. Oop, wrong. Okay. Not only is he full of crap, he's also full of crap because in the realm of full of crapness, which is what this documentary is, he's full of crap about that full of crap documentary. He wasn't involved in it. But hold on a second. He says he claims he was a producer and director and that he was a volunteer.
Yeah, but also the next one, executive scientific advisor at CSETI.
Also volunteer.
What the fuck is CSETI?
So CSETI, all right, is not SETI. SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, that's a real thing. CSETI is not. It's the Center for Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Okay, it sounds similar, but no, because let's have a look here. Hold on. I need to get to home. Let's go home. Oh, Institute for Planetary Synthesis. All right, that was the wrong one. I need to find the correct link. CSETI.org? No. I found it earlier today. All right, so this is the right guy, Stephen Greer. This guy's nuts too. Totally nuts. But no, all right, well, this looks like similar site, but there it is, cseti.org, and they have, how can you do that? They have let their certificate lapse. Okay, here it is. Oh no, that just went to Stephen Greer's. How much you want to bet Stephen Greer isn't a real doctor?
I mean, I would put money on it.
Anyway, so CSETI, which this isn't CSETI. For some reason, anyway, it is an international nonprofit scientific research and educational organization founded by probably not a doctor, Stephen Greer, and dedicated to the furtherance. You know they're fancy because he said furtherance of our understanding of extraterrestrial intelligence. CSETI's projects includes the CE5 initiative and the Disclosure Project. Wow. Anyway, he what was he there? Wait, I got
everything.
I love that. Did I close? I did. I closed the Emery Smith. All right. Back to CSETI. He's the executive science advisor, also volunteer. I love this. Turns out you can volunteer to be anything for any organization.
He's walked in and he's gone, "Can I be the executive science advisor?" Of course you can, mate. All right then.
You don't even need to walk in. You just say it. But all right, so they said, safety cases. Go back to Greer site. What are pseudo abductions? So hold on. Pseudo abductions. I don't know. It's not on there. It's not on this page. I don't know, Scythe. No, all right. Well, okay. Let's finish this amazing CV he's got here. All right. He was a teacher at the Kleist Foundation as a health instructor from 96 to 99. 2nd, 5th, and 8th grade advanced health and anatomy classes approved and licensed by my Lee County school systems.
Hold on. I'm just doing, so it was in 2006 that he was 28. So he was 18 when he started this Kleist Foundation health instructor job as a teacher.
No. He wasn't 18 then. He was.
Well, he must have been if he was 28.
He said he was 28 in 1998.
Was that was after he'd been in the military?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So somewhere on a page with lots of text was purple stuff saying things about pseudo abductions. So, I don't know. Contact Countdown to Transformation book. I don't know. Maybe it was this one? No. I don't know. So, sorry, Scythe. Ergo Sum CMC says Wikipedia claims as Greer is a retired physician as well as a ufologist. There you go. Okay. Surgical, this is where it gets important. Surgical assistant, Lee Memorial Health System. Surgical first assisting in cardiac, neuro, general, ortho, peds, gyne, trauma, harvesting, eye, ENT, plastic, oral, and
Surgical
dental.
first assisting in cardiac. In 1995, so he would have been 25.
Yes. Because he was a surgical assistant in the United States Air Force. He was he was surgical assisting in a vast array of surgical procedures. Yep. Overlapping with from 92 to 95.
92.
Yeah.
So now he's like 23.
Yep.
And at 23, at Kirkland Air Force Base, he was a surgical apprenticeship instructor.
Yeah, he was instructing. Yes. There you go. And he got all of that because he did an internship at the Lee County Sheriff's Office.
He was making coffee.
Yes, he was. Well, he was assisting with the overseeing of watching prisoners.
Yeah,
so
he was taking the prisoner's coffee as well.
No, somebody was watching, and somebody else was overseeing the watching, and he was assisting the people that were overseeing the watching.
So yeah, he wasn't even. He was tea at the most, not even coffee.
Anyway, so he was in the ROTC for 4 years. So there it is, 1990. He was a platoon leader and a squadron commander in the Civil Air Patrol. So there you go.
What a life!
What an amazing guy.
He needs a movie made about him.
So all right, let's hear. Now that we know what kind of amazing accomplishments he has, we can really respect the things he's about to say.
Sure.
What happened in the first event? Let's go through that step by step.
Okay, I had other multiple events after that, but I didn't understand what it was, and I would always do a lot of sleepwalking when I was younger, and I was always outside in a hypnagogic state. But I was
Hold on.
because I always come back.
Yeah.
He's just explained how he did a lot of sleepwalking, right? And his previous story was about how when he was asleep in the field, that he saw an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, totally. Very believable. Yep. No, see, I have a different theory. I'll get to.
And mom and dad would see my feet were dirty every morning.
Right.
And have no idea. And many times they caught me just heading out or heading in. Right. But never injured myself or anything like that. And on
other than the severe brain injury.
This particular evening, and it was not very late, I just was told to go outside telepathically.
And how old were you?
I was in second grade, so it was like probably around 79.
Okay.
And
so you got the impulse to go outside.
Yeah. It was
but this had been happening to you before then?
No, this was the first.
Oh, this was the first time.
This was the first time that anything like that happened. And then after that, it started happening all the time. I mean, just going out, but not knowing why I'm out here and seeing like lights and stuff. And so I said, okay. So I went outside in the driveway, and we had a lake. And I went up to the dock, and I just looked up, and there was this beautiful blue craft. And it was this...
Second grade, Craig.
Silent. Yeah. And I was just so amazed that it's just silent, and this craft is there. And I'm smiling, and I was like, I even was like singing. I was like trying to like... I don't know. I was like, woo, this is like, I actually started whistling or something,
Dude, you'd had too much sugar. That's what it was.
He was 7 years old.
Right, I'm just trying to remember something from when I was 7.
He was upset that he didn't get to watch Smokey and the Bear, and his parents made him watch Love Boat and then Fantasy Island, and he's having nightmares about Fantasy Island because it's kind of creepy.
Or there's a good chance that when he was at home, his dad was watching something like The Day the Earth Stood Still, the classic old school ones, and he's just remembering that.
Frederick von Swarnheimer says Cosmic Disclosure Season 1 Episode 6 Secrets of the South Pole. As a resident South Pole expert, you should review. Guess what I did earlier today? I reviewed it. And you know what he says in that? he says he was offered to go, but didn't go.
The resident South Pole expert didn't go to the South Pole.
No. I'm the South Pole expert.
Well,
I haven't been at the South Pole. I was 700 miles from the South Pole. But this guy has this series. This is episode 2 of this series. And Frederick von Swarnheimer III says that episode 6 is Secrets of the South Pole. But this guy did not go to the South Pole. So what secrets from the South Pole is he going to tell when he's not been there? Mark W. says, I can't unsee a fat old Channing Tatum now. Oh my gosh.
What did the craft look like? What was the shape?
It was blue and it was disc-shaped. It glue
what
blue,
kind of
though.
blue?
It glue white, like
Okay,
white.
okay.
Boy, this guy just has to know every damn shade of blue that he's talking about.
everything's
Not
blue.
It's all blue. But what shade of blue? Damn it, I need to know. What's the Pantone number?
Okay.
It was
more like a
Ocean
whitish,
Dust
bright-
14.
But you could see detail, but you couldn't see edges. Does that make sense? You could see outlines of this, classic, shape. And it was like telepathically saying that we're here and we exist and, we're going to be back for you.
Wow.
And I remember it very.
Yeah, see, when somebody says that, the answer isn't wow. The answer is get a straitjacket.
No, I mean, wow is maybe appropriate, but more in like a wow kind of,
Yeah.
So that gets clear. When he was 7,
Yeah.
a blue floating craft was there and he got a telepathic message that they were going to come back for him.
Of course.
So he has been singled out of all of humanity to come and be picked up later on.
Yes. Yep. When he was 28 years old, like 20 years later, right? There you go.
This all makes sense.
So much sense.
Like it was yesterday. And it always stuck in my head.
So
It happened very shortly. I think the whole event lasted maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I mean, it's long. For that to happen today would not, because we would shoot you down in 2 seconds. You know. But back then, I think it was a little bit different. I think they had a little bit more
Is he wearing
opportunity
Uggs?
to make these types of meetings with
Uggs? Oh, that'd be great.
not only me but many other people.
I mean, look at his feet and tell
Allow
me he's
them
not wearing
to give us
Uggs.
hope and to strive for that later on in life. So then I just became really firm believer and all that stuff, and I wouldn't really talk about it that much.
Maybe that was a good idea to not really talk about it that much. Maybe you should go back to not talking about it much.
Neither would my family.
do you think that either your father or your grandfather might have been involved in black ops?
Yes, my grandfather was
Really?
in the Army, and my father.
I know that because he told me nothing about it, and that's exactly what they do in Black Ops.
Yeah. Why is it all of these people, like, they had parents that were Black Ops?
Who doesn't have parents that were Black Ops? Right?
Yeah, my parents ran the Black Ops. I mean, yeah, my dad was military, but I'm not going to be claiming he was Black Ops or anything. He was a...
Paul says stop leading the witness.
My dad was a corporal in the Royal Gloucester, Berkshire and Wiltshire Regiment.
But Craig, we need to know exactly what color of black was the Black Ops.
Oh,
Was it like an onyx black or midnight black or
It was Penta Black.
Penta black? Oh, that's
Yeah.
so black.
Flew in the Navy.
Robert Madewell says his mother was into Black Ops. His father just watched. Oh my God.
Planes looking for the submarines coming into the Bahamas and off the coast of Florida. So he was a spotter for that.
Really?
And he did some other things, but I don't think they were intelligence related.
You were on some kind of extraterrestrial contact program, it sounds like, and you're describing multiple events of leaving your house at night
Oh, yes, that was yes.
and going outside. And do you feel like there are gaps in your memory from those events, or what do you think is happening when you go out there?
No, I remember a lot. When I was younger, I had this gift. I call it a gift. I can control my dreams. I know when I'm dreaming. And it just recently came back to me, just recently.
Like all these people, they all have a gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so he's talking about lucid dreaming, right?
Yes.
And that is a thing. I have, in my life that I'm aware of, I've lucid dreamt twice. There's been 2 points where I've been dreaming where I was like, well, this is a fucking dream. And then I flew for a little bit and then I woke up. That was it. It's not a gift. It's something that happens sometimes.
But he had a gift, Craig. He's special. He's the main character.
Have you ever lucid dreamt?
I've never lucid fallen and then woken up and then said, "Oh my gosh, I'm glad that was just a dream." No, I haven't. But this
Do you
is
ever get?
this is I want to say this. This is common with people like this, like Whitsitt. He thinks he's special. Mark Sargent. He thinks he's special. Right.
I mean, they are special, but back of the short bus
not
special.
short but special, right? They think they're the other end of the special spectrum, right? All these people,
Yeah.
they're the chosen one. They're Neo. Everybody wants to be freaking Neo.
Within the past couple months, where I can do it again. And I just lost it after I went into the military. I couldn't do it anymore when I went into the military. And I started the military early, so age 13 with Silver. 13? With the auxiliary of the Air Force Silver Air Patrol, my dad introduced me to. And and they were giving pilot's license to kids for free if you qualified and wanted to be part of this thing. And it's where people also, before they go into the...
Sorry, they were giving pilot license to kids?
To kids for free if they want to. Yeah, it's like, all right, everybody line up over here. Line up over here. We'll give you a pilot license.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly unresponsible.
Does it sound to you a little bit like how Victor Crute got his 5-star general ranking?
Oh man, I miss Victor.
I know. I wish he'd come back. He's so insane.
I've tried so many times to get him to come back, but
so
he pops up
insane.
on Facebook every now and then his account gets banned because he just starts spamming stuff about crazy conspiracies everywhere.
It's always guys like this though. This is the guy right here. This is the guy. He had that girlfriend. Went to a different school. This is the guy. And now
Could you imagine going out for a drink with like Victor and I don't know who's another let's say Kevin. Going out for a drink with Victor and Kevin.
Oh my God.
Just imagine that, a whole night of just you, Victor, and Kevin at a bar.
Throw Mikey Smith in.
Oh, God.
What about John Puckett? John
Mikey
Puckett.
Smith has one shoe on, and on the other foot, it's just his toes out.
Just big old gangreney mess. But John Puckett's there too, Craig.
Yeah. And then you go into the bar, and who's the barman? Pissy Dave.
Oh. Would you like the bartender's special? Oh my gosh. No. Absolutely no. Oh, that's so
God.
bad. Oh, okay.
The military, so you get extra rank before you go in, kind of like ROTC,
Right.
which I did that too.
Right.
But so you get all these perks. So I got my pilot's license really early age, and I took many tests that I just know one thing: I took a lot more tests than everyone else did going into the military.
Because he's special.
Yeah. Because they were like, do we really want to let this guy in? I was sure. Can we get him to take this psychological test? Well, this says we need to do further testing.
He took it. He took a test. He passed it so well because he ate all of the writing utensils.
Yeah. And they let him into the military, but he was the guy that, fluffed the pillows. That was his job. Making sure that other recruits had fluffy pillows.
What about that guy that ate the crayons during a really debate? You remember?
Oh, yes. Oh, him. Yeah.
Flatober, Flatter-day Saints.
Yeah. Oh, him. Yeah.
Yes. Literally
Good
ate
Lord.
a crayon in a debate. Like,
And an onion.
oh gosh.
And a banana with
They
the
were not-
skin on.
Your normal ASVAB test.
Okay.
And it was
Give me an example of something unusual as a test.
Well, an ASVAB test is based off of what are you good at? Are you a good mechanic? Let's see if you can figure out this sprocket or in this chain. Or maybe he's good at writing, does he know verb, adjective, or linguistics?
And that might lead to your MOS and military operations specialty.
Lead you out to your MOS. But with my stuff, it had to do with geometric shapes.
Really?
Yeah. And like my
Yeah. Right. So here was the test that he had, guys. There was a block, and in this block was 3 holes. One hole was circular, one hole was square, and one hole was a triangle. And he had 3 blocks. One was a tube that was circular, one was a pyramid, and one was a cube. And he had to put the right shape in the right holes.
It's exactly what I was thinking. Oh my gosh. Like, I passed the test. Mom, I passed the
and he
test.
said he passed the test, but somehow he's jammed the pyramid into the square and it's now stuck and they need to order a new one.
And the circle one's missing and they find it later in his underwear. Oh.
mandalas.
Don't do that as I'm taking a drink.
Out of these 6, which one do you like? Like, which one do I like? So to me, it wasn't a test, but it was a test for something. Because obviously there's some sort of subliminal message in there, maybe some sort of encoding, that I don't know about that I have or my lineage has.
These could be logos of certain ET groups that they might have been aware had already contacted you.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's how I got pulled out of, the Air Force part after,
Blaze MKIV says he's bragging because they had to give him an IQ test to see if they could let him into the military.
They had to give him an IQ test to see if they could find
They're
one.
like, oh my gosh, this guy's right on the edge of not smart enough. And he really wants to get in. Like, he won't shut the hell up about his girlfriend that goes to this other school. But we're like, okay, fine. Let's give him the dummy test and see if he can. He passed. How did he pass? Oh my gosh, I thought he failed.
He passed, but he's like right on the edge. And it's only because he put a full stop somewhere. But they didn't realize that was, just him stabbing the pen and stuff,
What is that? Oh, hold on a second. That's not right.
What?
Icy Spin sent me another thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. All right. And we got this right here. All right. You got that. And then we got this one.
Oh, my God. It's like a human had sex with a penis.
I'd say that happens pretty often, Craig.
Well,
You didn't know.
just the penis.
Hold on a second, Craig. I need to back up first. I don't know if you understand how this works, but what you just described happens very often.
I don't know how babies are made. The penis person, like he is now like part penis, even more than normal.
Oh my gosh. I'm feeling a little ill. Oh
my God.
So then what did you do after you left the military? Well, I was probed by aliens 76 times. I really found that I liked it. Really? You don't say. Well, what did you do in Antarctica then? I didn't go to Antarctica. I didn't want to go. That sounded like a crappy time. Really? I thought that the title of this episode was going to be about Antarctica. Yeah, we should totally name it that. All right. Oh, it froze. It froze. Crap.
You broke it, Toon.
I broke it. The computer's like, oh, hell no. Stop it.
Well, computer. It's a Mac.
There you go. All right. Oh, all right.
I did my 4.5 years and then still continued with the contract work.
Had you already done 4.5 years in the Air Force?
I did 4.5 and then 2 years reserve and then 2 years inactive. So total of 8.5. Yeah.
And it's after the 4.5 years that you got the salmon fillets and that whole thing started?
No, the first time.
Salmon fillets. Did you hear that?
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hold on.
I got salmon fillet was August 8th of 1991.
Wow. you're having these tests. Now, when did these tests start? All the way back when you were 13?
Yeah, it started in the auxiliary part, and then.
So one of them was geometric shapes. Could you give me another example of something that was bizarre as a test that you got?
There was a lot of high-end physics and magnetic questions, which I really didn't understand at that point, but I scored high on it.
Well, okay, so high-end physics.
Yeah.
So,
high-end physics. So, high-end physics from the guy that wrote those things on his LinkedIn profile, who doesn't really have a firm grasp of physics. Yep.
So I had these amazing job opportunities when I went in the military, but I just wanted to be an F-15 Eagle pilot because I just wanted to fly, Top Gun all the way. But the Army offered me a huge scholarship. I could not almost refuse to fly Apache helicopters.
Wow.
But all flight related, you see, going towards.
Of course.
Yep. Everybody just wants to fly the planes. And you're like, you probably won't be flying a plane. What? No, I'm really good. I can fly a plane.
Being an astronaut or NASA or space-related stuff, most pilots, most astronauts, as you know, which it's now changed because they need scientific technicians for specialty, and that's how I became like a payload specialist. So getting back to why, I was just so adamant that I was going to be a pilot, being just a kid, 16-year-old when I signed up, by the way, I'm making these decisions. And they said, well, you can also do this medical stuff. And I was like, and I loved going to the doctor and seeing all the stuff, and I like watching cut out my ingrown toenails. So it didn't hurt so much playing soccer. Right. So it amazed me. And they're always like, sit down.
I bet he was the best soccer player. Like, he was the captain.
He was the ultimate.
And he got 75 points every game. Like, and his girlfriend would come and she'd be like, oh yeah, you're so awesome. But nobody saw her because she had to go because she also had a soccer game, and she's like the captain of that soccer team, so she could just swing by quick.
Yeah, and it was across the other side of the state with a team that no one's ever heard of the school.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have heard of it, I guess.
Yeah, it was in Canada actually.
Yeah,
and he's in Florida. She just her dad drove like in a Lamborghini. That's how she got there.
Yeah.
John, you don't want to look at it. There's a lot of blood. I'm like, no, I want to see it. They're injecting me, and they're like, this kid is freaking weird. and all these surgeons too, these doctors, when I was really young, end up becoming my friends, and I end up becoming their teachers because I got CME.
Oh, because the teacher became the student. Oh,
Did you say all of these doctors?
Yes,
that I became friends with, I became their teachers.
Yeah, when he was a kid and somebody cut out his ingrown toenail, that doctor is now his student. Yep, that's it.
CME accredited to teach them on platelet plasma and stem cells. So it was a really funny circle.
What is CME accredited?
Physicians and nurses and all medical people, in order to keep your license, you have to go to symposiums and get updated on new educational properties. So, continuing medical education units.
I'll continue. Okay. So let's get back to when you are first brought to Sandia. And I think that's something you've told me before about the process of how you got to the room. Let's start with how you get brought in. Like, what was the first thing that you saw that would be a lot different than a typical military?
Well, being in the
I think this is where the good stuff starts now.
Operating room,
right? Okay.
Working in emergency type situations, and already knowing pretty much everything about the human body. In an accelerated program I was in, assisting surgeons. Mm-hmm.
He's special.
And, I knew that when I walked into this place, that they had spent a lot of money on this everything, even the doors, the security systems, these amazing security guards, the demeanor of the scientists and physicians that were there, the technicians and everyone. It was very serious. It was very, very organized, and it was very clean. And it took, you get debriefed first. They take you, and it's a huge background check, but I'm already active duty. So perfect for them. Yeah. Young, if he messes up, who cares? You can just get rid of him. He died in a helicopter crash, whatever. So perfect subject, but super high IQ, very...
He's humble though. Almost as humble as Whitsitt. Like,
almost as humble.
Nearly as humble.
No one's as humble. Whitsitt is the humblest, to be fair.
Yeah. If you ever wonder, he'll just tell you.
But very much like Whitsitt, he's obviously high IQ.
Very much. At least 160.
I'd say so.
Has medical training. Let's just see what he can do. So they brought me in this room first, and this was before I actually went to do my first case. And they just laid it all out. And
laid what out?
Laid these contracts out. I mean, it was so thick. And I was
like, you're expected to read all that as you sit there? That doesn't make sense.
Well, of course I didn't read it. I was 19 years old. I saw the page. I was like, I already signed up. I was already stupid enough to sign up to get into the military. So I go on. And it's like, which I love, by the way, the military. And they saved my life as
not
much
how
as,
it works.
What? Oh no, it totally is. What are you talking about?
No. So when you join the military, yes, there's forms for you to sign, but they talk you through them. You have to read and understand every single line of what you're signing when you join the military. Especially when you sign like the Official Secrets Act and stuff. You don't just sign that. You know what you're fucking signing.
But wait, he signed it because he's so special that he even had to sign the non-US secret forms. Right?
Right. Yeah, he's probably signed the British one as well, to be fair.
He actually wrote it. And then everybody had to sign it in front of him, including his doctors from when he was a kid.
Yeah.
So all right. G2 is in the chat here, and I'm told G2 has a little bit of background on this topic here. So I only saw one message from G2 recently here. So anyway, good to have you here. I have it on good, a solid friend saying the G2's cool. So there you go.
A huge supporter of the military, still am to this day, with other projects and things. So I didn't mean to make it sound like I'm not. I was really thankful, for that.
Well, we're very thankful for the Alliance and the fact that they're turning the tables for us here.
I know.
It's amazing.
So thankful.
That's coming out.
And we need people like you. We need people like you to be brave enough to speak to the truth and say what they experienced.
Well, I'm hoping once, because I know a lot of these people, I'm hoping
Don't
once
encourage him.
I know. No, this show is to encourage him.
me come forward, I really believe there's going to be a lot more come forward like within the year.
It's going to get easier, too, because the cabal is being greatly defeated right now, and you have had a lot of briefings about that as well, which we can get into in later episodes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
you get all these documents.
I signed the book and make very pictures like all these people, the cool lab coats and other,
Cool lab coats.
security people, but not in their normal like black ops. They're in like clean suits, like really cool white tactical stuff. And
Like jumpsuit kind of things?
yeah, like a flight suit, white.
And they're all made by Nike because Nike's so cool.
Yeah.
But with a lot of cool straps and not normal guns. I don't think they can use guns down there because of the pressurized systems.
Oh.
Is what I was told.
What?
I was always told never to bring my weapon, into the facility. Years of locker room
because
with
it
a
would
copy, basically
puncture.
Change into scrubs, then go down and change into your suit. So it's like 2 change-out stations.
Wow.
And you wear a band, which was the coolest thing ever. And this band was like
Yeah. This stinks of BS.
like silicone. I later found out it was
so
graphene
much
and it
detail.
glowed. And that recorded everywhere I went on the facility.
Wow.
And they take it from you. And it also activated later on. They had iPads back then that make these iPads like thin as, the X-ray film, how flimsy that is?
Yeah, yeah.
Or the films we used to use on the projectors?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, imagine that being an iPad and flimsy and being completely lit up and accessing the entire main database of whatever section you are working in. And locating your supervisor if you needed to on it, like a work with the, everyone kind of knew where everybody was, knew where to like hide or sneak anything out. Anyway, so you had this cool iPad that was always with you, and you used it for data entry for all the stuff you do because everything's documented.
If it's so flopsy, how would you be able to type on it?
Oh, that's easy. Everything was with your finger, and they had a stylus, and the stylus was looked like.
Wait, it was with your finger, and with a stylus.
But you had a stylus. Yeah. No,
Which
it's with your
one?
finger and you. So your finger was a stylus, or
I don't know. I mean, I've got a stylus here, and so on my phone, I use my finger and my stylus. You have to just alternate back and forth real quick.
Yeah. Have you got one of those Apple phones?
Yes. All right. G2 says, I am on the opposite side of this guy, like debunking these guys with my experience with DARPA, Black Ops. Haha, hate these terms. Yes. I mean, you can tell this guy's just full of crap.
Yeah.
But I do have a little fun one here. Here we go. Thank you, Zoomy, for...
He's the leader.
Oh my gosh.
A thermometer, and it had a very grippy texture to it, and you could hold it. This flimsy. It's not that flimsy. It's a little bit stronger than that. But I want to let you know it's like that kind of material. It's like a special polycarbonate that I think was infused, of course, with probably graphene or some other something photovoltaic, obviously, to do all this stuff. And anyway, it'll always be down on something. You don't go. It wasn't like it's not a text paper.
Okay.
This is something just where it's always on your counter. You're using your little thing, your finger, or whatever. And it also interlocks into other. Every room has like a hub, like you plug your iPhone into. Well, this thing, when you lay it down on the table, the whole table now knows this.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So it's just like this Bluetooth type energy.
And it's full color.
Yes. Oh, brilliant. Full color, 3-dimensional objects. You can.
A holographic.
Yeah,
too.
holographic too.
Really?
Yeah, especially when you put it onto the tables. The tables become like the actual 3D part of whatever you're presenting.
Wow.
So if I did get a body, and that's already been 3D scanned, the body, that can be projected above the table, and then you can move it with your hands. And you can say, hey,
wow.
so I don't know what.
I saw that when it was in the movie Minority Report.
Yeah, me too. That was a great movie. That one.
He must have
I
seen
don't
it
understand
too.
how this guy. I thought Neo was in the Matrix, but he's clearly in Minority Report as well.
Well, and did you know that Neo wears a blue button-up shirt made out of Gazorp leather?
I'm just looking how far the shirt comes out around his belly area.
But this is here.
People are wondering about his shoes. Like, is he wearing like boots or Uggs or like?
It's
what,
definitely Uggs.
What
It's 100% Uggs.
What in the world is on his feet?
In the body, we want just this. So cause the least amount of damage to just get this organ or this little BB out, you know. So it was and that just turned me on. Because I was a techie and I was young and I didn't want to ever mess up and I just wanted to just keep going.
And at the time, right, the time window you're describing, all we had was like these desktop power computers that were ridiculous.
Goodness, we had this big bulky, I don't even know, Apple even came out, even had their comeback yet.
Right.
They just were. So the wristband, the little iPad floppy thing was a very important thing that's always kind of with you. And
Could you roll it up and keep it in your pocket, or how would you carry the little floppy iPad?
we don't have anything on you ever but this band and this piece of paper.
Oh.
You don't have any, I can't have a watch, can't piece of jewelry in this facility. Everything has been stripped from you when you do your 2 changeouts.
Corey on the show has talked about a smart glass pad, and it sounds a lot like what you're describing. What was it called? Did they ever have a name for it?
It was always just called like the folder.
The folder.
Yeah, the folder. There was no fancy like Star Trek name.
Well, a lot of times it seems like, as they call it, reduce psychological impact.
Yes.
They try to give you these conventional things.
That makes sense, yeah.
So this guy was killed for exposing all this, right? So, Greg, at the beginning, he said he decided to come forward because of recent events. These recent events were apparently attempted, making him go away. Now, if
They're
they
not very good at it.
if they have all this technology, if they have the floppy iPad technology, you'd think if they wanted to make him go away, they'd just make him go away. But here he is, spilling the beans, just telling all, and nothing happens to him. Because this wasn't recent. This was a while ago.
Yeah, yes, this has been on the internet. They could have seen it. Guys, didn't we do something about this?
No,
it's fine.
It was behind a paywall, and that totally befuddled they.
Right.
They couldn't figure out.
I can't figure out paywalls.
Bill, do you got the credit card? No,
Oh no, we
it's
used the credit
overdrafted.
card to get the ice creams.
What the heck? I got the ice cream in the fridge over here. Why'd you go buy more?
Well, you
Bill.
wanted the cookie dough.
What? Yes, but there's cookie dough in the freezer here.
Well, yeah, but that's cookie dough from Lidl. It's not
But
the proper cookie dough.
how are we gonna sign up to get this guy's video where he spills everything?
But I got Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, why didn't you say?
Okay.
It's just so.
Right, so it's just a folder.
Yeah, go put your folder in your band. Okay.
Did the band do anything else besides just glow? You said it glowed, or?
Yeah, every now and then it would glow. I think it was just because someone was accessing your whereabouts, especially when there's breaches. There was a couple breaches when I was there of things escaping.
Just so you know,
Of course.
if you want to find out where somebody is, here's a hint: don't let the device know that you're trying to find out where they are. Just a little pro tip on the user interface of the glowy graphene wristband. Where's this guy? He's trying to escape. I don't know. Well, let's make sure that we program it so that he knows when we're trying to find out where the hell he is. That's smart.
And there's also a scientist, a technician like me that did try to take some stuff out of the facility. And when that thing glows a different color, there's like different colors for different things. And, just do not move and don't go anywhere until whatever is the emergency is going on. Like in hospitals, we have code reds and, code blues and all this stuff. It's similar to that not, you know what to do and not to do it.
What were some of the colors you can remember and what they meant on the band?
Red.
Again, with the colors, this guy. Oh my gosh. every time.
It means you better not move.
Just don't even move at all.
But what shade of red? He didn't specify. Like, was it an orangey red, or was it like rose red, or like a sunset red? Blood red.
Yeah.
Blue, everything's fine. There was one yellow, which means breach. Contamination breach.
Oh.
Yeah. The contamination is that Dave Murphy mixed up another beverage. That's why it's yellow.
Yeah, not like someone stole something. Someone somehow had a hole in their suit, or because you have to understand these things have viruses. They have bacteria that we don't even know. It can kill you. It can mutate. It could, the last thing you want is that out. So they have these artificial intelligence systems in place and these super high scrubbers and like the most amazing, disinfecting type of air handlers you would not even believe. And even walking through some of.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. It's all unbelievable, strangely.
These things when you have your changeouts, it didn't hurt or anything, but it was just a precautionary thing. But they have these vents in the systems that pick up on all particles, parts per million, and it could tell if like one small cold virus bacteria got into a vent and goes and hits this thing, it's like everything gets shut down like immediately.
And that's yellow?
Cool.
Understand?
Yeah. So you never want to see yellow.
Do you think that the band could tase you or kill you if you didn't move when it was red?
I had never felt threatened by that band at all.
Okay. Describe to me what a breach means. What did somebody do?
Well, one time, and this is just from now, I can only say secondhand. I will always tell you if it's me talking firsthand or secondhand. Secondhand means these alarms went off. Of course, we were later debriefed that someone tried to take something out. That's all. So I don't know what it is. I'm really not allowed to ask what it is, but that's what happened to ease everybody's calmness, so everyone can start focusing again better. It's nerve-wracking if you hear any alarm there.
So you never found out what any of these breaches really were? They just give you a very vague...
One breach I did because my really close friend's husband was one of the security guys. So they did have made a awesome hybrid bear-type osseo-integrated being.
I don't know really what that means.
Well, just
bear-type osseo-integrated being.
Osseo integrated. Osseo meaning bone.
So a
bear type osseo integrated. Yeah, something's integrated into its bone being. All right, this is the good stuff. This is why we're here.
This means they made a hybrid animal of some sort that resembled a giant grizzly bear.
Okay.
But it had metal, but it had like metal talons.
Yep. We called it Wolverine.
Yeah, I was about to say, that movie came out last year.
We called it Wolverine. Just literally just stealing these ideas.
Made of some
PhD Tony says that Ugg boots are often worn by diabetics who aren't properly maintaining their condition, which might explain the claimed near-death experience.
Oh, God. To keep his feet warm. Mikey Smith needs Ugg boots. Mikey Smith needs Ugg boots. Hold on a second. Just a second here. Oh, hold on. All right. Jeez. I'm sorry. Little distraction thing we've got to do here. Come on. All right. All right. Where'd it go? Is this it here? That is. All right. Calling.
Oh, we call it Mikey Smith.
Calling Mikey Smith, yes.
Make sure you can hear me.
I'll try to do it if he answers. Oh, come on, Mikey. We know you're not busy.
Hey, it's Mike. Leave it after the...
No, nothing. All right. Well, maybe he'll call back. But anyway, we need to do a fundraiser. Get some Ugg boots for him.
It was also integrated into his bone structure. That means the titanium and tissue together, whatever metal. I don't know what the metal. I'm hypothetically just hypothesizing.
Okay.
All I know is once it got out, they had a special truck to get this thing. I mean, it got to the surface. It's going across the desert.
Really?
Yeah, very fast. So they had to get blow this thing up, and it was so indestructible that they only injured it and then was able to put it into the special truck, and the truck steel was 8 inches thick.
That's right, people. The truck steel was 8 inches thick.
Why didn't they just trap Wolverine in one of those?
The steel was 8 inches thick. How much would a cage weigh that's large enough to hold an osseointegrated bear-like being that's got 8-inch thick walls?
The cargo container.
Good Lord.
And the marks in it were 4 inches deep.
Wow.
From
Yeah. He scratched 4-inch deep marks in the steel wall with his osseo-integrated Wolverine talons.
Sounds like a fun Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
that thing trying to, whatever, it was probably trying to get after they knocked it out or whatever. So, he was there on that, and he saw the marks in the truck as well.
That's crazy.
And, I consider him a very honest person. It was all over. Everybody knew about it. Everyone knew this was bad. And that was from a different genealogy department on the base.
Well, I hate to leave you on a cliffhanger, but that's all the time we have in this.
Oh my goodness. He left us.
Well, you need to send me the rest of those because I'll be covering them.
All right. Oh, you froze. Just a second. I got to unfreeze you.
Don't freeze me.
Yeah. It's okay. Will Princess Leia will come and unfreeze you. You'll be good. So, all right. Why no Mikey Smith? I don't know why no. Why didn't he answer?
Makes me sad.
You can already have Haggis Pakora.
Yeah, Haggis Pakora is actually quite nice.
Oh my gosh. All right. Portal 2 is co-op. Right. Maybe that'll be a thing. Greg Edmond, where does the white go when the snow melts? Yep. Matthew Lott says he has more knowledge and achievements than a Swiss Army knife has gadgets. He does.
He's almost on JM Truth's level, really.
Really? Yep, he's close.
Yeah, but he's not a modified sniper.
No. Angel Gamer says I should open up the canned haggis sometime. It's on the shelf up there. You can't see it, but it's up that direction there, off camera. The canned haggis. Mark W says I can't unsee a fat old Channing Tatum now. I already read that. Meat Permits Tad says when he said the UFO we would shoot you down, did he mean ROTC or the Civil Air Patrol? Yeah, he was in both.
And everything else.
Stuart Christmas, who is Lloyd's brother, says I think you should all give Witsit a break for expecting to buy a gyro compass to fit in his backpack for TFE. We all know gyro compasses need a container.
Uh-huh. I'm sorry. The logic in his head. I know. When I'm there, go to the local gyro compass shop.
Yeah, because that's how it works. Of course.
Excuse me, mate. Can I have a look at your finest selection of gyro compasses, please?
Where's your gyro compass aisle? All right, here Icy Spin sent the osseo integrated bear-like being, yes, with its talons that can dig 4-inch deep gashes in steel. Let's see. PhD Tony says that cage is about 10 cubic meters of steel, about 80 tons.
Oofed.
Yeah, that's you're not gonna put that. You're gonna drop that on your deuce and a half.
Yeah, I've got a ton of stones coming for our garden, and they have to bring a crane to get it into my garden. I'm sorry, no.
So Syfe asked if I still have the ketchup chips. I do still have they smell bad. These are 5 years old.
Eat them.
Nope. No.
Eat them.
No. Not gonna eat them.
Do it.
These were brought to me by Punchy. Oh my goodness. So, why do you have 5-year-old chips? So the thing is that ketchup chips I've not seen in the United States. And Punchy would talk about how much he loved ketchup chips. And so when he came down to visit me, he brought 2 bags of ketchup chips, 2 different brands. And so then I had them in the drawer here, and then every once in a while, during a live stream, I'd eat one. But I think I made it about a year, and then I'm like, you know what? That's enough. That's enough ketchup chips. And then that got a thing going where people thought it would be funny to send me stuff to eat, which isn't funny at all. Angel Gamer had sent me some crickets to eat, ranch flavored, not good.
Ranch flavored crickets.
That's also why I have the can of Haggis. I was sent Rocky Mountain oyster jerky. Not a fan. Not a fan. It's so gooey. So gooey. Ugh. Like, you know what Rocky Mountain oysters are, right?
No.
Yo.
I don't think I want to.
So when you have cattle, about half of them are female and about half of them are male. And not very many of them do desire to keep all their parts because it makes them more aggressive. So
right.
They will remove those parts.
I see.
And then what better way to dispose of those parts than to give them a name, not suggesting anything at all about what parts they're from, and then get unwary people to eat them. That's what you do.
Nice.
That's what you do. So yeah, they call them Rocky Mountain oysters. Trek Fest happens this weekend in Riverside, Iowa. Future birthplace of James Tiberius Kirk. Did you know that?
On Friday,
did you put your hand up here? Because it wasn't on screen. Okay. May the force be with you, Starbuck.
Get out. On Friday, I get this tattoo completed, and I will be streaming it live.
Really?
Yes.
And so what part of me is going to be on there?
You go on the next part, on the second stage.
Okay. All right. Fine, if you insist. Yadawat says, did he teach Bill Nye while on the moon base? What will this guy think?
Bill Nye's unteachable.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like, we have tried to get him to understand that, no, Bill, you use the wet side to mop the floor. He just doesn't get it.
He doesn't. Wrote it, no last name, says, I think seeing Buckaroo Banzai really affected him. I mean, one more thing here. Evil Producer One says, tell Mikey I have a new toe care product for him. The Dremel toe grinder. Oh my goodness. That's so nasty. All right. There it is, everybody. The Dremel toe grinder. So, all right. Thank you for that, Evil Producer One. Here is what I think happened with this guy. This guy, he's all that. He thinks he's special. Girlfriend is in the other school, all this. He saw that movie, the Sirius documentary, and all the people that were in it, and everybody was awesome. And he just looked up to them all, and he's like, oh, I want to do that too. And so he's like, I'm just going to make up crap, and I'm going to merge my crap into their universe of nonsense. And that's what I found with these crazy people, right? There's a whole book on all of these alien species forms. So anybody that wants to can just say they've been talking to some alien. And as long as your stories jive with everybody else's stories, they're like, hey, you're in, let's go. We're all faking it together is what they do. So that's what I think happened. He got jealous of the other people, and he decided that he was just going to make up that stuff. So there it is. Otto says, I think I've been talking to space aliens. There you go. And we've got
all the time.
Rachbot says, is there a cat species? The cool thing is, if there isn't, you can make one up.
Currently, the captain of my my starship that I play 7 of 12, Tactical Node 3, species 5008, is a cat species.
There you go.
And canonically, her species used to eat one of the other species that's also in the crew.
Here's a lion feline being.
Of course there is.
They're called the lion felines.
Because there's going to be aliens that look like creatures from Earth.
Yeah. Here's Mothman. Mothman, who Emery Smith talks about.
No, that's a Batman villain. I think they've got the wrong book.
Here's another one of these. There you go. One that he met. That's a mantis being. Notable hybrid. So no, not really the just the meow meow house cat. So you can do it. Right, what's this from? That's from like the movie Enemy Mine. Right? I think. Zeta Drac Marie? Zeta, look at that. Like it.
Oh, it's just a gray.
Yeah. It's just, no, it's a blue. And what shade of blue? It's the shade of blue of the shirt he was wearing, coincidentally. So, anyway, there it is. That's our introduction to Emery Board Smith.
I like him.
Yeah. So
he's batshit crazy, which is my favorite kind.
There's so many. So, all right. What do you got going on?
Well, tomorrow, I was going to finish my Lies of David Weiss stream.
There's no end.
The answer is infinite.
No end to the lies.
And then Friday, I will be streaming getting my tattoo done, and then my normal Star Trek stream. And then Saturday, I've got a debate with Don Lee. Sunday off, and then Monday, I'll be starting my next membership drive.
All right.
And during the membership drive, I will be finishing writing, recording, and editing the first new episode of Flirfs Are Idiots during the stream.
All right. Scythe is wondering if the Flirfs are related to Packlids.
Well, no, Packlids are kind of smart.
Much smarter.
Yeah. They can at least press buttons and, smart enough to steal other people's stuff.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do I'm gonna wrap it up here, and that's it. I got some Master Detective coming up, people. We'll see you. Well, I got a live stream tomorrow. I'm doing a debate on the Earth Awakening server. So,
nice.
I unlike Nathan Oakley, I am not scared to enter the domain of the other group. So, everybody have a good time until we see you next.
There's a man called Sovereign Soul with an unchained mind, sitting in his room all day long, master detective in his own mind, sharing conspiracies all through the night. His theories take flight. MCToon has Langley written all over him. He declares he's the master of detectives, he swears. Asks how air with no molecular continuity can be affected by gravity scrutiny. It's all displacement, so he pleads. No gravity needed, displacement leads. Flat earthers are calmer, happier you'll find. Shouts an angry man, losing his mind. Flat earthers are serene, with uncontent state of mind. Proclaims a furious man in the vine. All rivers flow south except for a pair. That's the direction down they share. Events in the Bible, not Middle East bound, happened where he lives, he's found. Nile is Mississippi in his lore, a theory he won't ignore. How do you have a line perpendicular to an arc? Questions a man who left school in the dark. How does it get perpendicular to a ball? He doesn't get it, can't be real at all. Flat earthers are content state of mind, proclaims a furious man in a bind. The Mandela effect he talks about, the word dilemma has changed, no doubt. Boats long ago like ropes, no ends. So how they measure speed and knots, my friends? He's telling you right now, you see, if the right people had him, what he'd be. A real master detective, no doubt. Globe is impossible, he shouts. Flat earthers are calmer, happier you'll find. Shouts an angry man, losing his mind. Flat earthers are serene, with a content state of mind, proclaims a furious man in a bind. From ISS to space, pressure gaps are vast. Not like ocean depths, those contrasts are surpassed. We're talking extremes, you understand, but he wants to know, show me gravity, man. How does gravity affect air? He demands, doing whatever it takes to derail their plans. Flat earthers are calmer, happier you'll find. Shouts an angry man, losing his mind. Flat earthers are serene, with a content state of mind, proclaims a furious man in a mind.